the next generation of young people won't remember October 7th in the same way. That's true in Israel and in America and broadly in the world. And we need to make sure two things. One, it's not that we don't forget. We need to make sure that the story is told properly so that when the history books write this, they don't write about the victims of Gaza.
Oh.
Right? They can't.
You're clapping?
And it's,
this is evil.
I should be a little more precise. There were victims in Gaza, right? It's true.
You think?
There are civilian casualties in every war that's ever been fought.
This was genocide.
But the victims were the people of the nation state of Israel.
Bullshit.
The aggressor was the Iranian regime in the proxy of Hamas, and we need to make sure that the history books reflect that, and that requires each of us every day to talk about it in real time with our children, with our grandchildren, about it in a way that is serious and thoughtful and complete and moral.
The Caucasic dynasty of Mike Pompeo, the former Secretary of State of the United States, shouldn't surprise you. This is predictable because rewriting history is what white people do. Covering up the evil and war crimes of white people is what white supremacists do, okay? Trying to present white people as at best saviors and at worst oppressors masquerading as victims is the white race personified. And this is exactly what white Zionist Jews have been doing to Palestinians for over 75 years. Because you see, the white race don't want the truth to be known in history that all they ever do is to kill, lie, rape, and freaking steal. So we each have a conscious responsibility to ensure that the agenda of these Caucasic Zionists to rewrite history does not come to pass by consciously, presently, actively talking in real time to our children, our grandchildren, and to each other in a way that is serious, thoughtful, complete, and moral, that history must reflect the truth. Let history reflect that the victims are not Jews or the Israelis. The only victims here are Palestinians. Let history reflect that this did not start on October 7th, and the victims of October 7th were killed by Hamas and by the Israeli government's Hannibal directive. Heck, the Israeli government killed more Israelis than Hamas did. Let history show that Palestinians were not the casualties of war, but the intended targeted victims of a genocide, ethnic cleansing, starvation, of a Holocaust of biblical proportions that is comparable to the Nazi Holocaust in depth, scale, brutality, and evil. Let history show that Zionist Jews worldwide manufactured consent for one of the most vile, evil, brutal crimes against humanity live streamed into our human consciousness on a daily freaking basis. Let history show that the enemy here are Israeli Jews and that the oppressors are Zionists. Zionist Jews, Zionist Christians, Zionist Muslims, Zionist whatever. Freaking Zionists are the oppressors. Let history show that these evil Zionist Israeli Jews were committing state-sanctioned violence and murder against Palestinians in the West Bank where Hamas does not exist. Let history show that millions of us around the world rose up in protest after protest on a weekly basis, denouncing and condemning the state of Israel and rejecting the evil of Zionism, and that many of us face persecution with our rights and liberties trampled on by the Zionist power construct. Let history show that at the front of these protests are anti-Zionist Jews shouting loudly and boldly, "Not in our freaking name." You want to rewrite history? We're ready for you, you bloody evil Zionist bastards.